Packers Nation. This is one of those days where the news hits hard, on and off the field. What's up, everybody? Victor here, and welcome back to Packers Nation Report. And today, we've got two shocking stories about the same player that could seriously shape the Packers. Off-season, and they couldn't be more different. First, we've got to talk about the headline that nobody wanted to see. Our Packers player was arrested on a gun-related charge after what his attorney is calling a misunderstanding involving firearm licensing laws. According to reports, he voluntarily disclosed the unloaded firearm, believed he was complying with the rules, and didn't realize his Wisconsin license wasn't valid in New York. His lawyer is confident the charges will be dismissed, but make no mistake, this is still a serious situation, and it comes at a critical moment in Walker's career. Why? Because he just finished the final year of his contract, and now he's headed into free agency. And that leads directly into the second piece of news, one that already had Packers fans debating before this incident even happened. Multiple analysts are now predicting that this same player could leave Green Bay for another NFL team, on a deal projected at around $81 million over 4 years. We're talking over $20 million per season for a guy who's started 900-plus snaps in 3 straight seasons. Graded consistently strong in pass protection, and has proven he's not a liability protecting the quarterback. And let's be real, in today's NFL, that matters. This player we're talking about hasn't been elite. His run-blocking grades have lagged behind. But pass protecting do not grow on trees. And there is a team who ranked 31st in run block win rate and 32nd in pass block win rate last season, are desperate to keep their franchise quarterback upright. So now the question becomes bigger than just one arrest or one contract projection. Does this off-field situation impact his market at all? Are the Packers already prepared to move on with younger, cheaper options like Jordan Morgan? And is Green Bay about to lose its starting left tackle because the price tag just got too high? That's what today's video is all about. Context, reality, and tough decisions. But before we break it all down, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and help us reach our goal of 1,500 subscribers. This channel is growing because of you, and Packers Nation deserves real, honest discussion. Alright, let's talk about what this really means for the Packers. And today's video is a little different because this is one of those stories that hits heavier than football. Packers starting left tackle Rasheed Walker was arrested at LaGuardia Airport in New York on a gun-related charge. And understandably, this news has a lot of fans confused, concerned, and asking questions. So today, we're gonna slow this down. Break it all down clearly and responsibly, what happened, what the legal situation looks like, what his attorney is saying, and what this could mean for Walker's future with the Packers, especially with free agency right around the corner. But before we get into it, I need to ask you real quick, please hit that like button, subscribe, and help us reach our goal of 1,500 subscribers here on Packers Nation Report. This channel is for real Packers fans who want facts, context, and honest discussion, not clickbait. Alright, let's talk about it. What actually happened at LaGuardia, according to reports from the Associated Press and The Athletic? Rasheed Walker was arrested Friday morning at LaGuardia Airport after attempting to check a firearm before boarding a flight. Here's the key part. Walker disclosed the firearm himself. His attorney, Arthur Ayadala, explained that Walker informed a Delta employee that he had an unloaded firearm stored in a lockbox and requested an inspection, which is a standard process when done legally. However, the issue wasn't the firearm itself, it was the paperwork. Walker's gun license is valid only in the state of Wisconsin, and under New York law, that license does not carry over. Because of that, Port Authority police were required to make an arrest. The legal context, why this is a big deal in New York, this is where a lot of fans get confused. So, let's clarify. Under New York penal law, Article 400, you must have a New York state-issued handgun license to legally possess or transport a firearm, even if it's unloaded and secured. So, even though Walker's firearm was legally owned, he disclosed it voluntarily. He did not attempt to conceal anything. The law is the law. His attorney stated this was a misunderstanding, saying Walker believed he was allowed to travel with a firearm legally licensed in Wisconsin. That belief, unfortunately, is not correct in New York. What his attorney is saying, Ayadala was very clear in his statement. He said Walker did not believe he was committing a crime, typically travels with the team, usually does not carry a firearm when traveling, and most importantly, his attorney said, "We are confident that the charges will be dismissed." Walker is being charged with criminal possession of a weapon and is scheduled to appear in court on March 6th. So as of right now, this is a legal matter, not a conviction, and it is still playing out. Who Rasheed Walker is to this team. Now, let's talk football, because context matters here too. Rasheed Walker has been the Packers' starting left tackle for the past 3 seasons. That's not a small role. That's protecting the quarterback's blind side. Since stepping into the lineup, Walker has played a high snap count, provided stability on the offensive line, earned the coaching staff's trust, and here's another key detail. His contract just expired. Walker is set to become a free agent when the offseason officially begins. So, yes, this timing is far from ideal. What this could mean for his future right now, it's too early to jump to conclusions. If the charges are dismissed, this may ultimately be viewed as a legal misunderstanding, a lesson learned, and a situation that doesn't carry long-term consequences, but teams will be watching. Front offices will ask questions. And perception, fair or not, matters in the NFL, especially for an offensive lineman about to hit the open market. Packers Nation, here's my honest take. This does not appear to be a malicious or reckless situation. There's no allegation of violence. There's no attempt to hide anything, but it is a reminder. Laws vary dramatically by state. Athletes are held to a higher standard, and small mistakes can turn into big headlines right now. The smartest thing to do is let the legal process play out and avoid rushing to judgment. If you appreciate calm, informed Packers coverage, hit that like button, subscribe, and help us hit 1,500 subscribers here on Packers Nation Report. And let me know in the comments, do you think this impacts Walker's free agency? Or do you believe this will be dismissed without long-term consequences? And today, we need to talk about a story that a lot of fans don't want to hear, but absolutely need to. One of the Packers' most reliable offensive linemen is being heavily linked to leaving Green Bay in free agency. And not just leaving, but potentially landing a massive $81 million deal with the Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, that's the reality of the NFL. So today, we're breaking down why Rasheed Walker is being projected to leave, why the Chargers make so much sense, what the numbers really say about his play, and the big question Packers fans are asking right now, is Green Bay about to let a starting left tackle walk? But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and help us reach our goal of 1,500 subscribers here on Packers Nation Report. If you love honest, informed Packers talk, you're in the right place. Alright, let's get into it. Why the Chargers are connected to Rasheed Walker, according to Pro Football and Sports Network analyst Ryan Guthrie. The Chargers are expected to target Rasheed Walker in free agency. And honestly, the fit makes a ton of sense. The Chargers' offensive line in 2025 was brutal. 31st in run block win rate, 32nd in pass block win rate. Justin Herbert took a beating. Yes, injuries played a role. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater both missed time. But even with those excuses, the interior of that line was a disaster. Jim Harbaugh is now running the show in Los Angeles, and if there's one thing we know about Harbaugh, it's this. He believes everything starts in the trenches. What makes Walker valuable on the market? Rasheed Walker isn't flashy, but he's reliable. And in the NFL, that matters a lot. Here's what the numbers tell us. 900 plus snaps at left tackle in 3 straight seasons. Consistent pass protection, PFF pass block grades of 70 or higher every season. That kind of consistency is rare. Now, let's be honest, Walker isn't elite. His run blocking grades have consistently been below 60, and that shows on tape. He's better in pass sets than he is moving people off the ball. But if you're the Chargers, you care about keeping Justin Herbert upright, and Walker does that. The Slater 2 center theory, why this could actually happen at first glance, signing a tackle doesn't make sense for the Chargers. They already have Joe Alt, 2024 first-round pick. Rashawn Slater under contract long-term, but here's where it gets interesting. According to The Athletic's Mike Silver, some decision-makers inside the Chargers believe Slater could move to center in 2026. That would keep Alt at left tackle open, a tackle spot, and allow Walker to slide in immediately as a starter if that plan happens. Suddenly, this rumored move makes a lot more sense. The money, $81 million, is real. Now, let's talk about the part that really matters. Spotrac projects Walker at $81 million over 4 years. That's over $20 million per season. Is that a lot? Yes. Is it insane? No, not in today's NFL. Remember, the Titans just gave Dan Moore $82 million. Moore led the NFL in sacks allowed. Walker is objectively better than Moore's starting caliber offensive linemen, don't hit free agency often, and when they do, teams overpay. That's the market. Why Green Bay might let him walk? This is the part Packers fans need to prepare for. Green Bay has Jordan Morgan, Anthony Belton, younger, cheaper, and already in the building. The Packers are notorious for letting veterans walk at peak value, trusting development, managing the cap long-term. Paying over $20 million per year for a good butt-knock-rate left tackle may not align with how this front office operates. As painful as it sounds, this feels like a classic Packers move. Packers Nation, here's the truth. Emotionally, losing Rasheed Walker hurts. Stability at left tackle matters. Logically, if another team is willing to pay elite money for solid production, Green Bay may let him go and reinvest elsewhere. That doesn't mean Walker wasn't valuable. It means the market may simply price him out of Green Bay. If you appreciate honest Packers coverage, hit that like button. Subscribe and help us reach 1,500 subscribers right here on Packers Nation Report. Let me know in the comments, should the Packers pay Rasheed Walker or trust the younger options and move on? As always, go Pack, go!